What is happening, gang? Tonight I'm going to sharpen my Paramilitary 2 in Maxamet steel. Been using this at work a little bit, trying to get a worn edge on it. Put a few little scrapes on it, nothing too serious though. The edge has dulled up a bit. We're going to use my Venev Diamond resin stones. Now these stones, if you look along the sides here, they have the micron finish of each plate with an arrow pointing to it. Now ordinarily, the lower the number, the coarser the grit. In this case, the higher the number, the coarser the grit. The higher the number, the larger the micron is, basically. So the 160, 125 versus 180 micron. So according to their website, they've changed their grit ratings. I believe they used to use FEPA. I'm not real sure what they're using now. Basically, the 160 micron translate to 100 grit. The 100 micron translate to 100 grit, 120 grit. Move on to the next set of stones. You've got a 5040, which is 280. You got a 2014, which is roughly 700 grit. And the final stone, which is 7 and 5 micron, 2500 grit, and 3 and 2 micron, which is equivalent to 5000 grit. Tonight though, we're going to start on the 100 grit, which is 180, 125 in micron size, and the arrow points to the green side here. So we're going from 100 grit to 120. And really the grit rating is superfluous. You really don't need to worry about what grit rating it is. Just look at the micron size along the sides of the stone to tell which micron you're sharpening at. Now it's not required or necessary to go through every single grit in a sharpening. This is my first sharpening of this Maxamet steel, and I want to get all of these stones in the video. The grit rating is set for 700. The micron size is 20 and 14 microns. So what does it mean when it shows two different numbers like that, 20 and 14? It just means that the micron size is between 20 microns and 14 microns. I don't know how they get that average. I don't know what measuring device or how they come about that, but that's their measurements, 20 and 14 microns. So we'll go ahead and finish this edge up. Now this stone is much smoother than those coarse stones. I really like the texture of this one. And the coarse stone still used the old resin binder to hold the diamonds in the matrix. This stone and the finer grit are using the new OCB binder. And the OCB binder, from what I understand, does not have any abrasive qualities. So the only thing that's cutting the steel in these stones is the diamond. Consequently, they say the concentration of the diamonds in these stones is at 100%. They've got another set of stones where the diamond concentration is only at 25%. I would imagine those particular stones cut just a little bit slower than these, but since I don't have them, I can't do a side-by-side comparison to tell you if that's truly the case. Now I left this one textured to 120 grit, just like the last stone. Going by feel, much smoother. I can't feel the knife cutting the steel quite as much as I could say the coarse grit. The knife edge is just skating across the stone, almost like a piece of glass. I don't really feel much in terms of tackiness or the stone gripping the steel and actually cutting. I can't feel any of that. Seems to be holding its own very well. And the polish is looking even better. I'm starting to get some shine in there. I'm not sure how well it's going to pick up for you guys. And keep in mind, this is Maxamet. Maxamet can be a booger to polish. We'll go ahead and get this guy squared away. So there's still plenty of tactile feedback in terms of sound. As far as feel goes, you're not getting a whole lot off of this coarse grit, or I'm sorry, this fine grit. It feels like sharpening on a ceramic with just a little bit less of a tactile feel as you go across the stone. Now you still get the audible indicators that if you've gone over angle or under angle, but the stone itself, it just feels like you're skating across ceramic, skating across glass. There's not much in terms of actually feeling the stone cut. Now I'm slamming this knife, slamming this ricasso into the side of the stones. I've been doing that on purpose to see if I can chip them out. When I flatten these, I did not chamfer these corners. These corners are as sharp, almost as sharp as a knife edge, really. They are pristine 90-degree angles, and so far they've held up very well to my knife slamming into them. Obviously you don't want to leave your stone that way. You do want to chamfer the edges because they will chip out on you at some point. It's just the nature of sharpening stones, but I wanted to see how tough they were. In terms of flattening them, these stones are extremely wear resistant. It means they're going to last a very, very long time for you if you're sharpening on them. Hopefully you guys can see this. I turned the light out, so maybe it'll give a little bit more contrast. We'll go ahead and test the edge now before I strop. So that's 94. $113. And final test. $124. So before stropping, the edge comes out roughly to 110 on my Bess seed tester. I'm now going to strop. This is 2 micron CBN Emulsion on leather. And let's see what we get. So that's 86. $79. Final test. $59. So the average on this knife is now coming out to 75. So I would say yes, indeed, stropping has improved it. I'll give you guys a close-up of this bevel. I gotta admit, these stones seem to polish much better than the original set I have. I've got some 4x2s in the original configuration, and they don't polish anywhere near this well. So I'm really impressed with the polishing effect of these stones. They performed very, very well. I'm going to sharpen a few more knives. I just got a Indela in K390. I'm really curious to see how it performs on these stones. So that's going to be my next project. Overall, these stones have done really well. very happy with them. So you can pick these stones up, of course, directly from Venev. I'll have their website linked down in the description, as well as popping up on the screen here. I would tell you, I have no reservations about ordering things from Russia. I've done it before. There is a little bit of a wait time, but it's not terrible. These arrived approximately 3 weeks after they were sent, and it happened during the whole USPS issue during the Christmas holiday, so I thought that was really reasonable as far as shipping times. Well guys, I appreciate you watching. If you have any questions or comments, as always, leave them down below. Y'all have a good one.